time, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
You know, Mr. President.
Mr. Melvin, I'm gonna stand by you again, okay? No, you may not like that, but we'll back it up. I'll back up a little bit. How are y'all doing?
Good.
So got several things to discuss with you today. I wish Michael was in here. He may have to help me on some of this. But, we'll start with two congratulations. One, the most recent sidewalk project that we applied for, almost $750,000 in grant money was awarded to the city within the last week. So congratulations on that. This map here shows
That means we gotta do what, $200,000?
let's see. Yeah, you got right on that.
171.
Well, so here is some of the good news on this, is that this year, in the past, the way these projects have worked, the city. He slipped in on. The good news on this, in the past, the way it's worked is the engineering design portion had to be 100% funded by the city. This year, they changed it up to where that engineering design can actually cover it in the grant. So what you're paying for is more like a 80-20 match, with 80% coming from out. That's where the 750,000 round number there, but it's more like 745 and some change. But that's coming from out. The city will match 20% on the engineering design and the construction portion of the project. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 7 roads in this project that we're looking at adding sidewalk, plus some out here on Pineville Road to be replaced. If funds allow, once we get to that point in time. We just wanted to say congratulations. Don't really have anything for Ms. Tamika to present as a formal resolution tonight. Just wanted to make you aware that that project was funded. Any questions or concerns on that?
I know in order to keep your cash flow going, you're gonna keep looking for more sidewalk.
Well,
Are we getting to the point that it's about saturation point?
I mean, I don't know. That's a conversation for the future.
Can we look at one, look for a grant to redo some of these old ones we got?
Hey, I think we can. At some point in time, to your point there, Aldot's gonna have to start allowing you to apply for more replacement of existing sidewalks to even have projects. There's gonna be a lot of cities and towns across the state that are kind of like in the position in Monroeville now, where you've got all the new sidewalks that you just got to stand, and you need to start looking at replacing some existing sidewalks. Excel can't, they ain't got room for another piece of concrete anywhere in Excel.
You gonna maybe she can annex Monroe. Wall need to get annexed. She don't want no more roads. Getting road paved out there.
Any questions or concerns on that?
In a future year, we need to look at sidewalks kind of between, we're kind of in front of the Winn-Dixie area there out to Gate Precast. If they can continue to have, they got some employees that walk to work, and
Yeah.
that's kind of dangerous where they're walking right now. So.
As a matter of fact, I saw someone just today. I was out there on the sidewalk project that's going on now, walking across the other side of the road.
Yeah.
So there are people who walk up and down South Alabama Avenue. Which on that note, the sidewalks that we're working on right now, the contractor's done a fantastic job from our professor, making good progress over the last 2 weeks. They've only been in town now. I think this makes their 3rd week we're working on right now. Have made really good progress. Thank you for your patience and understanding as things have come up. There for several days, it kind of looked like a bomb had went off. It's just all the mess everywhere, but thankfully they're starting to dress up and clean up behind themselves. That's an update on that project. Second, congratulations today. We applied for more rubber mulch for Monroeville Park, and then also the playground off Vanity Fair Drive. That application was submitted on to this 4 or 5 months ago. We got word within the last few weeks that that project was also funded right in the neighborhood of $50,000 for more shredded tire rubber mulch. there is a resolution that I think Mr. Meekin has on the agenda for tonight, which, is nothing more than the council approving that grant and then also allowing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Civil Southeast for our small portion of the project, $8,000 small, just a little small. Just to allow the mayor to enter into an agreement with us on that project is what that's about. Congratulations there as well.
Thank you for helping in my district.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Any questions about those two projects that just received funding? If not, the last thing I have on my list is looking at a local street paving and resurfacing project that we look at each year. This one includes researching several streets plus, looking at paving a dirt road, Hughes Avenue. And, same thing with this, we don't have anything necessarily, presented to be passed, more just a discussion of how y'all want to, proceed with the local paving project in fiscal year 23. I do want to warn you up front, the numbers you're seeing right now are probably higher than what you're used to seeing. And that's simply a result of prices skyrocketing over the last 6 months to a year. Asphalt is higher right now than any other time we've seen. So that's why the numbers are probably a little higher than what you may have expected. So what we're showing on this map, and we pulled this from an application that we submitted to ALDOT last year for the Rebuild Alabama program that didn't receive funding. So that's where we pulled this list of streets from. Plus, like I said, added in paving on the dirt road, Hughes Avenue. So we're looking at Carroll Street, Marengo Street, Woodridge Drive, Ivy Street. Those four would all be resurfaced. And then Hughes Avenue, which is kind of on the top right portion of the map, is currently a dirt road that we would be looking at paving. So I really just want to open it up to a discussion on that and how the council wishes to proceed with the local paving project in fiscal year 23.
Right here, when you talk about general items tax, what's all included in that?
So there's several things included in that. With every project, you're gonna have mobilization calls from the contractors on things like traffic control, raising manholes and valve lids to meet the new surface of the roadway. And those are items that are gonna be included in every project. So try to break it down to where you can see each individual street, what that costs, but don't want you to forget about those general items that are in every single project.
So that price, that cost is vary with each project.
That's correct. So to give you an example, mobilization is normally around anywhere between 3 and 5% of the total project cost. And that pays the contractors to move all the equipment in. It helps pay for the bonds and different things like that. But if you were to take a street off or two, that general item number would come down slightly, but in the grand scheme of things, not very much. That number's gonna hover right there around probably $70,000 to $90,000 on local research project.
Okay. And this total 573.9, that includes what we generally appropriate, which is the 350,000, I count the outlay, plus the 250,000 that we always apply for to get from Rebuild Alabama.
That's a good point. So the Rebuild Alabama, like I said, did not get funded in fiscal year 22. Now we'll be able to reapply for that money in fiscal year 23. I'd like to be able to stand here today and say it's guaranteed that you're going to get it in fiscal year 23, but I just can't make that promise to you. So depending on how you want to structure your budget and make it work, we can definitely apply for that pot of funding again. Those applications will come out in November, and they did the same thing this past year. They make 3 award announcements throughout the year. The last one just came out last week. So how you structure it, that's up to the council. I would hesitate to really put a percentage on your chances of getting that $250,000 in fiscal year 23, just because it's been all over the board. And I think this is gonna be this is the third year of the program. So you may get it in fiscal year 23, it may take another 2 years to get it. It's just hard to know. Any other questions or anything that it was missed on that?
Hughes Avenue right now is impassable. You can't go down that road. The county's gonna try to bring you some gravel tomorrow. And because we don't have no good base gravel to put on the dirt road, but they're gonna try to get me some tomorrow. And we might be able to get it. We can get just one lane traffic through that, but it's not gonna stay long.
Paxton, how far y'all gonna resurface on Ivy Street? Or where's it gonna start?
Ivy Street would start right there on the bypass.
On
And
which side?
go east, all the way to the dead end. I think Ivy Street turns to dirt.
Yeah, it's right there at Ingram.
Yeah, so they're gonna pave all the
Is
way.
there any way when they repave it, they can widen that road? That road is really, really narrow, when it goes down.
Right.
Mr. Mike did some work down there, and it's dangerous, really, when two cars are coming.
Right.
It's not safe.
You can widen it just a little bit without doing some dirt work, but now if you go to talk about getting a foot on each side of the road, it may have to be some dirt work done. And that would add to the cost, but now we might be able to get, 6 inches on each side, just widen it out that way.
When two cars are coming, two trucks are coming, I was coming down there one day, and my truck and another SUV was coming, I had to stop. Because,
Right.
it's not wide enough.
Right.
And even if somebody's walking down that road, it's dangerous. You have nowhere to go in that road.
Yeah, to really make it what you want it, in short answer, no, this for Ivy Street, the $73,000 is not gonna cover that. That's really for just putting back what's there now, same width. Now, there are things that we can discuss, funding opportunities through the Department of Transportation program they have later on down the road to actually widen that road by 2 or 3 foot on each side. But that will be a conversation when that funding becomes available. I don't know if you recall, we actually applied for it this past year for guardrail right there in that bottom that you're talking about in that over on, veterans.
Yeah, whenever it comes available, we need to fill out for that. Like I said, it's a safety hazard, for driving and for somebody walking in that neighborhood.
There's one little place on Woodridge, you see, it's just going to this street here, you see where that goes, just a little.
On the right side?
Yeah.
Yep.
That, if we could include that a
Yeah.
little bit, that's not,
Yeah, something like that wouldn't be a problem. We can make that happen.
Paxton, I got another question.
Yes, sir.
Are there, grant funding for these drainage pipes and stuff, to try to get to some of these areas, the pipes are not uniform, and whenever heavy rain comes, it's killing these people's yards.
Right. Normally drainage is one of those things that is hard to get grant funds. Now, with that being said, we've applied for 3 projects through ADM's new program as a result of all this money coming down from the federal government. So I don't want to say no, there's not programs out there for drainage, but typically drainage is one of the more difficult things to get grant money for. Where we're able to really get money for drainage is like on the sidewalk project, is it Glenwood?
Yes.
That you can actually partner up sidewalk grants with to improve drainage and things like that. But strictly drainage to get that money typically pretty difficult.
Well, now, let me ask you this question. Mainly what he's talking about is going in there and doing a rehab. So, they have rehab sewer and water projects.
Yeah,
So is there anything in clauses in there saying we can do a drainage rehab?
I mean, we could definitely,
Because the problem we're having is over the years ago, they would go in there and they put a 18-inch pipe up here and come down here and put a 12-inch pipe. And, it's not.
as more of this money starts to come down from the federal government, and we feel pretty confident that it will, what it'll look like, we don't necessarily know right now. But as that money starts to flow down, it can be used on things like water, sewer, And then included in sewer is both sanitary sewer and then also storm sewer. So there will be an opportunity to take a look at some of that and see if we can apply for some grant money. Anything else?
Any other questions, Patrick? If not. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank you for your time. And, again, just do want to reiterate, thank you for your patience with the sidewalk project we're working on now.
When will they get started on?
They've already started. They've got everything around the park over on, Georgia Trader Mill Street done. They've worked their way on the bypass from basically the subway on around the McDonald's, made the loop, and is now coming up South Alabama Avenue, and got all the way up to DE's building supplies. There's a few gaps in between there that still have to be filled in. But so far, within basically 3 weeks, they've completed about 40% of the project. So it's come along very nice. Faster than what's on. But the only bad part of that, that's where I'm thanking you, is that with speed and that typically comes some areas that look pretty bad for a while. But
Hey, I do not know how they've not had some wrecks. They are on that little hill right at McDonald's. They were not good at putting.
they haven't, and we've had to remind them just about every single day.
You top that hill in the morning and there's one sitting right in front of you and they're there.
Well, let us know, Michael's been really good at letting us know if there's been issues with that. Because it's an important thing to look out for. A lot of times, they're not too interested in getting those drums without actually getting that stuff and showing them that they're pretty big. So thank y'all for your time, really appreciate it.
Okay, I think the next item that we would have to act on is George Jean's resignation of public works. And that's effective.
Today was the last day, Robert. Yeah,
You get 1 week.
so.
You get 1 week,
Keep right on, you gotta go to work. I've already been working the last couple of weeks. You're killing me. Go ahead, Blake, hey.
Okay. After that, the Alabama Farm Bigby Regional Commission, is holding their 52nd annual meeting. It's gonna be on Wednesday, October 19th at the Demopolis Center in, Demopolis, Alabama, and they're extending an invitation, for us to attend. I do sit on the board, and I'll be attending, but it's open to anybody that wants to attend. Next item I wanted to go through and discuss was, we asked Mr. Schiff to come back and give us some, I guess, that's why he put his guesstimates on what he would thought it would cost to build a pavilion that we were talking about at Veterans Park. And his guesstimates came in at about $174,000. Which, it's kind of like the other situation, kind of like on the paving situation. You don't know really what the price is until you bring out the bid. And so I just want to make the council aware of that, so we can go back and study in more detail and have another conversation with Mr. Schiff. And then we can decide as to when we might want to let bids go. I was talking with some people and they said that the price of some construction material had come down. I don't know how long that's gonna last with what happened in Florida, but we'll go through and have some more discussion with him and then come back and see if there's a point at which we'd like to proceed with letting bids on. I don't think we'd be obligated.
No, it could be, but we can refuse any and all bids.
um,
And two, that we can actually, once the bids are in, and I'm looking for it to be way less than that, we're losing a good bit less, but now we can also negotiate with the lowest bidder. If we need to take something out or whatever, we can negotiate.
The other item on here is amendment to our zoning ordinance. And this is something we discussed at the last council meeting and has to do with minimum square footage on a residential building. And the ordinance we changed to require an R1 and R2. If I'm not mistaken, that they have to be a minimum square footage of habitable space, which is heated and cooled, to be 1,000 square feet. I think that's what we agreed on in the last council meeting. We also have a request here from Miss Sandra Atkins, concerning her pending retirement. Ms. Hunt, if you will, if you would basically cover what that request is.
So for her, she wants to use, I think it's 6 weeks, up to 6 weeks of sick time before she actually goes out, and then use the rest of, whatever vacation time she has. But she wants to start that in November. So she wanna work up until November and she's rest of it.
So, okay, another job, Michael, let's take care. Yeah. A lot of that being nice. Yeah. Y'all really like, we do. We really do. Really good meeting, right? Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we also have a request here, with Mr. Jimmy Moody to hire him as an equipment operator 2, part-time,
Yeah, part-time.
to help fill in with some of these.
Cause right now, if Leroy had to take off, I won't have anyone on the trash truck. And with Terry being out, that guy being on sick leave, and, I got these people gonna take vacation. I think it'd be beneficial. I mean, you may work, 16 hours or 24 hours a week,
The spots are available, not that we're there to do something. Okay, and then we have a request here to hire Mr. Donnell Thomas as the equipment operator 1, full-time at the rate of $11.14 per hour. Okay, and then our request to hire Mr. DeMonte Lyman as a laborer full-time at $10.26 an hour. So that will go back, and all these are replacements. When we went back, we put the budget in place. Well, the good news is we don't have all of our anticipated revenue coming in, but it looks like our revenues will exceed our expenses. So we can go back and we'll have more final numbers for the next council meeting. And then the things that we pulled out of the budget, we'll be able to reinstate. And then what I would like to do with the council is call a special call meeting to address the capital outlay, ABC fund, and any other remaining budgets that we have outstanding for this Thursday, the 13th at 4:30.
That's next Thursday.
It's Thursday week.
That you said next Thursday. When we was in the meeting.
I was hoping we could do it this Thursday.
I just put.
If y'all would agree, I'd like to get it out for them. What about everybody else?
Why can't we do it in Monday before the council meeting? That way we take care of 2 weeks in 1 week, rather spread it out.
Okay. That would be the 10th. Next meeting is
The next meeting is the
8.
19th. But that'd
The
be 18.
No, the
18th.
18th.
Hey,
Next
it's
meeting would be
17.
the 18th.
But that'd be
So that would be the 17th.
Mhm.
So October 17th.
Everybody,
Y'all have a time?
Yeah.
When will it be 4:30?
Yes.
Yeah, 4:30. Okay, the other thing that I would like to do is I would like to get a motion tonight to adopt the implementation and the strategic plan dated 2022. So we can formally get that in place. Okay. We talked about Christmas lights. And they'll be going up on the 17th for the
Actually,
event, and y'all gonna do it probably Monday before.
Yeah, on the
14th.
14th.
On the 14th. Okay. The only other announcement I really have is, this Saturday, which is the second Saturday of the month, that we're going to go back to, resume our Monroeville Beautiful campaign. And, we'll be able to meet up at the fire department. I know there's several things that are going on, this Saturday coming up, but, at least the weather is getting a little bit more hospitable for us. And, you know, we're trying to go in and, which area you got, District 3? We're trying to go in and target District 3. And, for this particular campaign. Okay.
Mayor,
Yeah.
made up a good point, Will, and we'll make ask Mike to make a comment to Facebook Station 2 that this weekend somebody dumped tires out there putting that dump. They stacking stuff outside of it again and park tires out there.
see them playing.
We've got DVDs and microwaves and stuff out there, put them in the recycling here. But we got them signed, but our old cars don't, they can't get them signed.
Come out of the house.
Huh?
Come out of the house. I think it's the motor sitting there, in there, or the box. You know, I'm looking there to see what was in.
All right, well, that's pretty much everything I've got. Councilman Burton,
I don't have anything else.
Councilman Benny.
The fun day at the park will be Saturday from 10 up until 2. The fun day park. It's fun, it's because they're park.
That reminds me, I had a request, so they asked you if, I think they have a barbecue cook-off,
Right.
and, they extended, asked a request if there were any council members that would like to serve as judges, maybe be doing that at 11:30.
And there's so fellowships over there, so I don't know what time, maybe
Right.
11:30.
Yeah, they told me 11:30, so, they asked about participating, I told them I would, at the same time, I'll come back and I mentioned it in front of the council. So, anybody would like to serve as a judge? Okay. I'll let them know.
Anthony, you go.
All right,
All right.
okay.
I want to talk to him about, got a house on High Street. Yes. Got a big tree behind the house, the one that bust out of it, pretty bad shot, I've got killed it all. So I'm gonna shut out about it.
Councilman Coleman.
It's a main thing, that house on Whetstone Street, where that field seven years ago, right next to it, and no one was standing.
Is that the one that caught fire?
Whetstone. The one that caught fire. Midway down Whetstone, that little cut back, is that house, I mean, okay. I got a call today about what we're gonna do with it, I thought it was on the list.
Yeah, we should hear something from them around the first of November. As to whether or not we're gonna be awarded the grant. If we not awarded the grant, the money that we had for the match, that's what we use to tear down what we.
And we also haven't talked about adding another light on the street, but I think that might stepping off if they're,
No, there's not enough
they're not,
room
they're
there.
not willing to come.
That's it, Jim. Okay, that's it. So, Jim, the house on Pine Street, the one that bust out there too, make contact with that guy to ask him to board that place up.
They were talking to, the last time they talked to me, the brother-in-law from Mobile has gotten involved, and they're trying to get an asbestos mediation people to come in and take the asbestos off, which is why the cost of that is so exorbitant that we don't touch it. I'll touch base with them because we also have a tree in the back that's blocking the drainage, and I've talked to the guy, I've sent the guy here messages, but I'll talk to the guy in Mobile tomorrow about it.
And plus the grass, you need to cut the grass too.
Yeah, when, a month ago, I thought it was imminent. I mean, he even asked me about the demolition permit, and I said, I'll fix the demolition permit, and they'll just show up to do it, and, they haven't shown up, so I'll touch base with him tomorrow.
Is that one of the properties down with the state?
Is that in a state?
Yep.
team? Like this?
And nobody technically owns it, except for paperwork.
Chief Black, yeah.
I will get y'all formal invitations for Thursday, October 13th. We're having that fire department banquet again, first one in a couple of years called because of COVID. And we're actually gonna do it next door to the Water Tower Conference Center this year. So you and your spouse or significant other is invited.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to go work out now. Okay, all right, Mike,
Okay, I don't think there was this time.
okay, Ms. Brooke,
The Witches Ride will be October 29th. It'll start with extended calendar from the square from like 2 o'clock through the evening up until about 7 p.m. And we hope to fill the restaurants and have people in the stores and without shopping and eating and having a good time.
Chief Armstrong. Tim,
That's right.
Ms. Hunt,
No, sir.
Ms. Smith. All right, well, I guess we covered everything for the work session right now, so.
Mike didn't want to say anything else, because we might find something else to do.
Oh, I do need a laundry. Back up.
Okay. Okay, here's David.
Get your files, or read your files, and then keep $1 Guy who's a zero back.
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
You know, we left it where we five, $1,000. Yeah, that's gonna be quicker.
I was quite pretty good until I saw. You did it, Ian. I was like, did you mention it too?
I think that's what I said, she done slip her in too. Hope they wouldn't hire somebody that's keep money.
How 4 years.
I did have one thing. I wanted to introduce Miss Elizabeth Richardson to y'all. She's the new revenue officer and she will be working in that position now. Nice to meet y'all. Thank you.
All right. Let's see if I can track Tim down. We got a few minutes.
There he is.
What was going on? They said, "You know,
Y'all got it running?
How many hours you got to work during the day on that shit?
I worked 13 minutes.
How many weeks?
Four, yeah, three.
How many days you got?
Oh.
That works good. You need to ride the bike.
Yeah.
Well, you tell them 3, 4. Oh, we're making a trade.
What, a month ago? Yeah. How many? I'm here 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
How many more threes is that?
We welded in the last 3 weeks, we've taken out right at 20 more via time, and I got 3 more behind the community house that we're gonna try to take down.
Golf course,
They got 30 something. I told them if they wanted to, when the guy had it cut over, if you wanna run up behind the community house, and just grab them trees and lay them down, and you find them.
Fault bringing these days.
Well, I can't think of it, it really put me up over the table. But, and I was looking, we probably got, they've got dead spots on them, and the top of them, they probably 15 right now, they got dead spots. So I'm adding before, I'm adding before in November, we're gonna be seeing them.
So you're gonna be a little better on time than I was bragging at first.
So, how you see that cute thing in here tonight?
No, I was supposed to have something that comes up on the kids here. And, I got the name of it. And we're going on. Yeah. Some business stuff. I know there's a few other things before, that's what I can't get up there. Fish and get back in town. And other things. I got numbers, you know, that's how.
Now we didn't have another day. And then, some bridge. That's, you're not going to, what's going on? They power in the league.
Yeah, one guy.
That you don't normally use our sheet. They don't give a discount on groceries, we check out on not she did, but she used that day. And said that she was going out the door, she had an hour or two, too big to come back. And said, she just kept on going,
Oh, I ain't seen the receipt. Held it up there and kept going. I said, here it is. Next time you want to see it, you can check me out.
I was at the back and like the check. Still checking out chicken. I said, man, I appreciate it.
Most times, I mean, I got
We're waiting for phone records to come back. Once phone records come back, we'll release it. Shouldn't be much on it.
Appreciate that.
Fireworks session. And send my email to them again. But I sent them the first time.
Goodness.
Which was on August 23rd. For them to delay the night.
Yeah, I'll try and follow up with Sabrina. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. You got to assume this taken care of. Maybe we can come up with a form or something that they have to sign off on the same day. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sounds like it needs a better system. Okay. All right. I'll drop by there and make sure that. Thank you for that.
Both sides are out. Main line is still all. Each cut, each other. Change the way it always. And that game is supposed to
What about the, have y'all got all your food out? And one other thing you didn't talk about, that's for the chicken. There's a couple of these. Yeah, that would even be better. Yeah. That would be a closer run, but you're welcome to do each other. Sounds good. No, it's all right. I appreciate I'll have to look, so, I don't even know.
About 2 acres outside. That's really challenging. I broke all 400. So
One thirty. I know, right? I do. Well, they got and some of the time good. That's what they got. The list of games on the radio, you know how to find it, but it's a long since they used for a long.
I gave the check off sheet. They were already on the video. And he said he has to bring to go up in the.
Okay.
Two droughts, where they have a fire alert, like burn and all that, yeah, they issued that last week, didn't, red flag warning to the burn.
Oh, I see what governor's gonna give us a rebate. You see that?
I need somebody to tell me about it, don't know how much. She wants to give it for the general election. She kind of contradicted herself in the press release. She said, well, we're not gonna waste money for like feds who are doing it for political reasons. And then it goes down in there and says she wants us to get that money before November.
I bet it won't be enough to pay my, immediate, bill for a month.
Right now.
And I. And then last night. It was on. So I called this morning. And that's, yes, and when that woman gave me that discount, she forgot to do something, said, let me go flip this switch and get you back up. I'm gonna go to that UK TV, but I'm gonna have to learn it, so I'm gonna do it. Okay. That's crazy. That's right.
You knew he was coming back there.
Anthony wasn't here last time. Yes.
That's right, keep him out.
And once you use the heat. I've heard
But she does have a son that's working for him. Right, does she?
Good afternoon, everyone. Time is now 5 o'clock. I'd like to call the city council meeting of the city of Monroeville to order. Begin with the prayer. Mr. England.
Let us pray. Father, we come before you this evening with grateful hearts, and we thank you for our country, and we thank you for the great city in which we live. We ask that you be with all of our city leaders as they discuss the business of the city, not just tonight, but every day in their jobs, as we continue to make Monroe a great place to live. Also, we thank you for those, or ask your help, for those that were in the past, the most recent hurricane, to be with them in their lives, how to return to normal, be with the people that are providing aid, and be with the utility workers as they try to get your life back to normal. We make our prayer in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and Savior. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
Okay, the first item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes for the special call meeting that's held on September 13th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. The work session is held on September 20th, 2022 at 3:30 p.m. Regular meeting is held on September 20th, 2022 at 5 p.m. And a special call meeting is held on September 22nd, 2022 at 4 p.m. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve all four.
Okay, do I have a second?
One second.
Okay, question. There being none, all in favor? Okay, the next item on the agenda for action, the first is the approval of Mr. George Dean's resignation from the Monroeville Public Works. Do I have a motion approving Mr. Dean's resignation?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Question? Being none, all in favor? Okay, the next item on the agenda is ordinance number 2022-10-001, which is amendment to the zoning ordinance section 1R1 district and section 2 R2 district, article 12 residential use districts, 2.2 use of buildings. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules?
I so move.
Do I have a second? Second. Okay. This ordinance goes through and it, requires heated and cool space of a living quarters to be a minimum of 1,000 square feet. Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2022-10-001?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor? Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the request from the Sandra Atkins for the use of the sick leave. Is that correct, Ms. Hunt?
Yes, using her, sick leave.
To be utilized for her retirement date. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the request from Sandra Atkins?
I so move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Question? Being none, all in favor? The next item on the agenda is the approval of resolution 2022-10-001, is a resolution authorizing the city of Monroeville to hire Civil Southeast LLC for professional engineering services. Yeah, I think this is related to tap rate. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
Absolutely.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Alright.
Okay. Next item is the approval to hire Mr. Donnell Thomas as the equipment operator one, full-time, at $11.14 an hour for the Department of Public Works. Do I have a motion to approve to hire Mr. Donnell Thomas as the equipment operator one?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Alright.
The next item is the approval of the hire of Mr. DeMontre Lyman as a laborer full-time at the rate of $10.26 an hour, $10.26 an hour. Do I have a motion to approve the hire of Mr. DeMontre Lyman as a laborer full-time?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Alright.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the hire Mr. Jimmy Moody as an equipment operator to part-time at the rate of $13.98 per hour. Do I have a motion to approve the hire Mr. Jimmy Moody on a part-time basis at $13.98 an hour as our equipment operator two?
Absolutely.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is this gonna pretty well take care of all the positions that are vacant, or we need to advertise some more?
There's more vacant positions. We just waiting on all this other to get straightened out. Okay.
Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Alright.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is matters to be presented by the mayor and council. I would like to entertain a motion to adopt the implementation plan and the strategic plan, begin for this year, 2022, to be adopted by the city council of the city of Monroe. I will entertain a motion to adopt the strategic plan and the implementation plan.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Alright.
Okay. Okay, the other item I'd like to announce is the Monroeville Beautiful campaign, to resume this Saturday. Is it eight? Eight, yeah, that's correct. The eighth, beginning at 8 a.m. We be there at the, fire station one. And we're going to focus on District 1. District 3, I'm sorry, District 3. Okay. These are pretty much all of the we need a motion for the special meeting on October 17th. Okay, I will entertain a motion for a special call meeting on October 17th to address the issues of the capital improvement budget, ABC budget, and any other outstanding budgets. Do I have a motion for a special call meeting? Okay, any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Alright.
Okay.
Who seconded that?
Okay, that's pretty much all of the items that I have on the agenda. Councilman Focal.
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Councilman Hammond, Councilman Thomas. Councilman Rupp, Councilman.
Tim, that house on, West Wiggins, it's in the queue to be cut at some point, right? Okay. So within a week or two, probably, or? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Being no further, Chief Black.
The fire station roof replacement, started moving equipment in today, so I guess they started this week.
Okay. Mike? No. Okay. Ms. Brooks?
This is in October 29th, and then following that to October 31st.
Okay. Ms. Ball? Okay, Ms. Atkins?
The community house is almost completely finished with its painting. If you guys want to look at it, I'll come by.
It really looks good.
Chief Armstrong? Okay. Ms. Hunt?
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Smith? Okay, all right. Well, there being no further business for the city council of the city of Monroeville, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn this meeting October 4th.
Do I have a second? All in favor? So moved. I know. 8 minutes. 8 minutes.
Yeah, but you wasted about